What's up, Blueroof Nation? It's your boy Jonathan, and I get attacked from time to time about my stance on remakes, especially after the last video I made, my comments on clean jeans, all that stuff. So, for those of you who know me well, you know, like, I don't think you should just state an opinion and then, oh, that's your opinion and it's the end of it. I think you need to have facts, you need to have arguments. You have to have reasons to back up why you think what you think. That's just my personal belief. But, so I thought I'd make a series of videos talking about different remakes and how they stack up to the originals. And to be fair, I thought I'd start with one where I actually think the remake is better than the original. So without further ado, welcome to Buffy the Vampire Slayer versus Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Okay, now this first one, it might be a bit of a cheat because you might argue that the TV show isn't necessarily a remake of the film, it's more of an adaptation, even a sequel possibly. But forget that, man. In case you can't tell, I'm a huge Buffy fan. About this at Comic-Con today. All those DVDs, all those comic books behind it, those are Buffy comic books. Look up here. That is all a timeline of Buffy. So yeah, any chance I get to talk about Buffy, you know I'm gonna take it because it's Buffy, and who doesn't love Buffy if you don't? Just saying. Anyways, so and there's even a comic book that is like a remake of the movie. So I guess to be fair, I'd have to talk about that movie, that comic book. But no, I'm talking about the show. So it is what it is. Anyways. And also, they're both written by Joss Whedon, even though the show's written by many people. Joss Whedon, you know, mastermind behind it. So it's kind of a cheat, kind of shifting the rules a little bit. Which is always weird how you cheat the rules the very first time you do something. But whatever, you know, Blueroof Nation. But right off the bat, so what we're gonna compare today is Buffy, the Scoobies, her boyfriend, the Watchers, the vampires, in particular the Vampire Kings, and the overall quality of both projects. So let's get started. So obviously we have to start with the biggest and most important thing. We're talking about Buffy the Vampire Slayer here, so let's start with Buffy Summers herself. Now, the movie Buffy was played by Kristen Stewart, and the TV show Buffy was played by Sarah Michelle Gellar. Now right off the bat, everyone who thinks Buffy thinks Sarah Michelle Gellar. And it might not be fair, seeing as she played her for 7 years, while movie Buffy only played her for an hour and change. But still, when you think Buffy, you think Sarah Michelle Gellar. It's just how it is. Movie Buffy has some stuff going for her, though. Her powers are more natural. They just come to her, like, she catches a knife without even trying. She kills a fly with the tack. Stuff like that. It's kind of cool. TV Buffy, I mean, she's naturally gifted and all supered up too, but I've never seen her kill a fly with a tack by spitting it out like that. That's pretty awesome. But movie Buffy is so shallow, it's kind of stupid, not really all. Whereas TV Buffy was near the top of her class. Well, she was kind of shallow, but she also had heart. She had depth. She had character. Again, TV show had more time to expand it, but just she was more relatable, more human, less stupid. She was more someone I'd personally like to hang out with rather than Buffy movie. But so far, I kind of give the advantage to movie Buffy because killing flies by it's kind of cool. But then we come to the fact that even movie Buffy wants to be TV Buffy. She states that she has 4 goals: graduate, go to Europe, marry Kristen Stewart, and die. TV Buffy, she graduated, then blew up her high school. She moved to Europe, in particular Scotland. If you watch Angel, she went to Rome. If you read the comic book, she went to Scotland. I mean, hell, either way, she did it. And no, she never married anyone. But she did die a couple times, so even movie Buffy wants to be TV Buffy. So victory goes to the show. Next up, round 2. It's the Scoobies, yo. Alright, so, you really just have Pike versus Xander, and we'll just stick with Xander and Willow. Hell, to make it fair, we'll do Pike versus Xander. Just even. Pike, you know, he's a cool loner guy. His best friend gets turned into a vampire. It's all very sad and dark, but y'all remember Jesse, right? The same thing happens to Xander. Maybe Xander's not as cool with his leather jacket, but I don't know. Me personally, whenever I think Buffy, I can't think Buffy without Xander's riding on a skateboard, hitting the pole, falling down. His pickup lines to Buffy like, well, how'd it go? Can I have you? Or, oh, maybe we'll see each other because we both go to school. Like, come on. You can't not love Xander. Xander is the heart and soul of the show. And when they fought Adam, he was the heart. Like, that's just, he's the heart. More than Pike will ever be. To be fair, though, Pike is canon. He's in the origin comic book, which Joss Whedon says is official. Well, could be considered canon because it's more in line with the show and his original script. And, yeah. But that's cool. But I'm going to have to give the points to Xander. So, 2 points for the show. Next up, we got the Watchers. Now, this is a tricky one. Because you have Merrick, played by Donald Sutherland in the movie. Then you have Merrick over here, played by Richard something with an R. Richard R. We'll call him Richard R. So do we compare the Merricks, or do we compare Merrick to Giles, played by Anthony Stewart Head? No, if we compare him to Giles, I mean Giles wins because he's fucking Giles. He's the father we all wish we had. He's the ultimate father figure. He's like the coolest guy on the show after Spike, and maybe Oz. Giles wins. But if we compare Merrick to Merrick, movie Merrick is immortal. He keeps getting reborn with all the knowledge of vampires. He dies to save Buffy. Well, TV Merrick dies to save Buffy as well. But he's just a kind of overweight guy who works for the Watcher Council, which we all know with the exception of Giles, they're all kind of douchey. I mean, Wesley's cool, but not until after he gets fired and then becomes a man. When he worked for the Watcher Council, he was still a douche. So I would have to give this one to movie Merrick, except for the fact that Joss Whedon says he hates him. So Joss is always right. So we'll get that one to the TV show because Joss Whedon says so. Alright, so the boyfriends, I mean, is this really even a contest? You have a douchey basketball player named Jeffrey, or you have Angel. Do I really need to continue? I mean, Angel, Angelus, Liam, David Boreanaz, Bones. He's Angel. He may not be Spike, but he is still cool. Alright? Insold, broody vampire before that lame Twilight douchey sparkly guy. Versus, I play basketball. No, he ain't Kobe. Alright. It goes to Angel. Hands down, Angel. If you think otherwise, I don't know what the hell's wrong with you. Next up, we have the Vampire King, son. What? Alright, we got Lothos over here. And then we got the Master over here. Because really, what makes a hero is their villain. The better the villain, the better the hero. That's why even though the Fantastic Four are kind of they're still cool because, hey, yo, Doctor Doom, you can't be Doctor Doom. I mean, shit, he's Doctor Doom, son. He's Doctor Doom. Anywho. So yeah, Merrick, Lothos. Vampires can fly. That's kind of cool. The Master can't fly, but they both have hypnotizing powers. They both seduce Buffy with their voices and their eyes. That's pretty legit. They're both overly dramatic Shakespearean people for some who knows why. Apparently, if you live a long time as a vampire, you become Shakespearean. But I'm gonna have to give it to the Master because he sired Darla, which then gave us Angel, Drusilla, Spike. Also, Julie Benz is really hot. Here's a picture. She's so beautiful. I love Julie. Anywho, sorry, I've got off topic. But where was oh yes, that's right. So the Master, he also killed Buffy. You're the ultimate badass if you can kill the hero. If you're an ultimate villain, if you can kill your hero. Lothos never killed Buffy. The Master killed Buffy. Point goes to the Master. I'm just saying. Overall quality, I would have to go with the show as well. I mean, but to be fair to the movie, they had an hour and a half, and it's not that bad. Versus the TV show that had like what, 144 episodes, plus like 100 and some episodes of the spin-off show, and then like hundreds of comic books, and you can't beat the show. The show is a cult favorite for a reason, whereas the movie is kind of forgotten. Anyways, I'm gonna give it to the show. It's an unfair advantage, but it has to go to the show. So let's do our total. Oh, but before we get to the totals, there's one last thing. The movie has Ben Affleck. So the movie gets a point for that. Hell, it's Ben Affleck. We'll give the movie 5 points. Because Ben fucking Affleck. So let's add up the totals. TV show wins. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. If you haven't seen it, it's on Hulu Plus, it's on Netflix, it's on DVD, it's on Chiller, it's on fucking everywhere you could ever want. It will change your life in ways you will never know. So there you have it, Blueroof Nation. After all the tallying is done, Buffy the TV show has 6 points, whereas the movie has 5 points thanks to Ben Affleck, who I think is uncredited in the movie, which is a damn shame because he's Ben fucking Affleck. He's Batman. Come on now. It's Ben Affleck. He's Ben Affleck. So the TV show ends. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, like, share. Please subscribe. Tell your friends. Tell your friends' friends. Tell your enemies. Tell your frenemies. Tell George. Just tell everyone you can. Subscribe. Anyways, if you have any other remakes that you want me to talk about, put them in the comments below. You can hit me up on Twitter. Twitter handle right here. And thanks for watching, Blueroof Nation.